Hi, my name is Aaron Thomas. I'm 24 years old and I'm from Georgia. I've been doing poetry for the like a long, long time. I think the first poem that I ever wrote was to this. Um, I think it was in fourth or fifth grade. It was like this, roses are red, violets are blue, kind of cheesy poetry that fourth, fifth graders do. Um, I didn't really pick it back up until I think a year and a half ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago, and then I didn't really start writing um, a whole lot until a year and a half ago. Um, that's I was going through a pretty tough time then, and I just needed some way to get those feelings that were inside of me out. And I was painting at the time, and that was good for a time. But poetry really just seemed like the easiest way for me to express myself. I grew up Pentecostal, uh, like deep Southern roots. It was good and bad. It was good in the sense that I had parents that loved and cared for me and wanted the best for me, but um, like growing up in the church, like I really didn't discover who God was until I really truly sought him out for myself. So like when I became a follower of Christ, it was just I just had my parents' God, and it wasn't really real to me, as it is now. It was really out of desperation that I did. I was addicted to pornography since 13. I really hadn't addressed until I became like 16 or 17, and I that's when I really like fell off. Like I really went in deep to my addiction. I started to mess around with girls, and I remember this one time, a girl had messed around with her, and on the way home, she texted me and she was like, you used me. You're a terrible person, and I'll never look at you the same way again. And that just it broke me down. I pulled off on the side of the road. I was driving home at the time. I I started to cry, and I felt um, useless and worthless and disgusting. And I pulled out a knife and I put it to my wrist, and I just remember thinking that the world would just be a better place if I didn't exist, and I wouldn't be able to hurt anyone if I just died right now. And I don't really remember what happened after that. I I do remember I put the knife down and I drove home, but it was almost kind of like I was in, just autopilot. Like it wasn't like a you know, God didn't change my life at that moment, but and I look back on that moment and I thank God that that didn't happen, because I wouldn't be here sharing my story, with you. You know, it really is something that I really truly believe now more than ever that God, um, as I sought Him out in those desperate times, I I really found out that you know he's real, and he's here, and he's with me, and he loves me, and he wants to take care of me, and he doesn't want to see me like dead on the inside, hollow. Like he doesn't want to see that. He wants to see me vibrant and full of life, and he wants to see me happy. I hope that if someone watches this, that it really invokes a question of, can God really change me? And and really pursue that question, and really challenge God to change them and make them whole, because God has the power, and he wants to, and he wants to, you know he wants you to come to him.